Good afternoon to you, meteorologist Nicholas Urboso. A happy Friday. It is a foggy Friday out there on the Gulf Coast, especially near the water. That is one of our main stories that we are tracking here on Next Weather on this Friday. We thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us on Facebook, be sure to check out the comment section, the live comments on the Facebook, and you can see what we're talking about. Of course, we're talking about the Super Bowl there, but let us know where you're watching from. We'll try to get some shout outs, say hi here. But on Next Weather today, our focus is going to be the fog. It is really foggy out there from every single angle near the coast. Our coastal areas have the cooler waters interacting with the warmer temperatures of the air temperature, and that is the fog that we get. That's just what's happening, and that's going to be the deal over the next few hours. You look at that Hanson SuperTech camera, that's our camera in Daphne, top of the Hampton Inn. You can see if you're driving on the Bayway coming from the eastern shore, you will hit a wall of fog as you go across the bay. However, all the comments that I have seen, and let us know if you've driven recently. If you've driven recently on the Bayway and you've ran into the fog, let us know how thick it is. But the comments that I've seen, it is not extraordinarily thick. It is just fog. Maybe half a mile reduced visibility there, but nothing that is quarter of a mile, which would be very dangerous. Instead, half a mile is a little more manageable, especially on the Bayway. It's not bad if you take at a reasonable speed, but still seeing some reduced visibility there. So we're keeping an eye on things, of course, here with all of our live cameras. If you look really closely at that All-In Credit Union camera, you can occasionally see over the river a faint cloud going over the river as some of that fog tries to develop even over the Mobile River there. With this, we have a dense fog advisory that continues until 6 p.m. for our coastal areas. And it looks like we might have an update here on a new dense fog advisory. This one is going to be until 9 a.m. tomorrow for our coastal areas. So 2 fog advisories to talk about. One that continues until 6 p.m., then another that continues until 9 a.m. on Saturday. So another dense fog advisory for Saturday morning. Just be ready. It is going to be very foggy out there. Thank you, Christian, for checking in from Loxley, Alabama. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to let us know where you're watching from so we can address you in the comments there and say hi. Fred from 8 Mile. Kathy over here. Good afternoon to you. Where the party at? It is Friday. We're going to have some fun. By the way, if you want to check out Fox 10 Live at 3 o'clock, they're at the King Cake off downtown, so that's a party down there for sure, if you want to check that out. Overall, right now though, again, we're talking about the dense fog advisory. This is going to be an issue. It's just going to be an issue over the next few hours, and that's what we're just going to deal with. It's nothing crazy, but it's just kind of persistent, annoyingly persistent almost. This is our enhanced futurecast, colorized, so you can see what's going on. Half-mile visibility spread across the entire area overnight tonight. Just be ready for it. You can see 1 mile, half a mile, and I will mention it will reduce beyond half a mile there at some points. You can take a look at it full screen here. Very rough visibilities overnight tonight. Just be ready. Then into Saturday morning, Kathy down from Mobile, down the bay in Mobile. I bet you're seeing a little bit of fog, especially if you're close to the bay. This is going to be persistent fog all the way through the night and into tomorrow morning. 7 o'clock Saturday, we see more fog across the entire area. Just be ready for that. William from Mobile, thank you for checking in. 10 a.m. on Saturday here, you notice the fog gets reduced to our coastal area. That's kind of what we typically see here. And then we'll push that along. All right, so that's kind of the fog talk. You know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be dense, blah, blah, blah. This is still sticking with us, and it's going to stick with us over the next few mornings as well. So just be ready for it. Let's switch gears and talk about something a little more fun. This is our Super Bowl forecast. Now, we're going to actually focus on some of the forecast numbers because I know a lot of people locally have the opportunity to go over to New Orleans for this. So they are going over to New Orleans for this. Even as a neutral, you can go over to New Orleans for this because it's just kind of a cool thing to watch, the Super Bowl here. So, of course, Kickoff time is at 5:30 in the Superdome. As you're getting into the Superdome, understand that temperatures will be very mild in New Orleans. Very similar forecast to us, and we'll kind of look at it all together. But very similar forecast to us with these temperatures in the 70s. If you're out tomorrow, maybe doing some grilling, preparing, getting things ready, tomorrow afternoon's looking fantastic. Temperatures in the 70s. Here's tomorrow's forecast. Foggy conditions in the morning, area-wide, but you can see the afternoon temperatures. Look at New Orleans' afternoon temperature tomorrow, 81 degrees, very warm. 78's the number in Mobile, probably pushing records. We touched or broke our record today in Mobile. Also on Saturday afternoon in the Mobile area, Dauphin Island People's Parade happening. Temperatures in the upper 60s for this one. Day planner for Pensacola tomorrow shows warm temperatures in the 70s with a few clouds around. Be ready for it. Day planner for Mobile tomorrow, similar story. Those temperatures in the middle and upper 70s. It will be very, very warm out there. Morning fog, afternoon clouds, but no significant weather interruptions. So that's the deal for tomorrow in our local area. Very, very, very similar to today. Let's look at the deal for New Orleans tomorrow. If you're over in New Orleans getting in on Saturday for the Super Bowl, Saturday conditions very similar to us. We're talking to temperatures right around 80 degrees, as I mentioned. Winds out of the southwest. Not going to deal with as much fog there in New Orleans on the South Shore in the early morning because of our southerly wind, but there will still be some fog around if you're taking the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway or taking Interstate 10. It is going to be very foggy there if you're taking the twin span. So either way, fog, yes, in the morning, just maybe not as much in downtown New Orleans. Then by the afternoon, temperature again around 80 degrees. What about Super Bowl Sunday in New Orleans? Now, my forecast data is still coming in here, but you can tell it's going to be a very similar forecast. Some morning fog, lighter winds, temperatures in the 70s. For the evening forecast for the Super Bowl itself, let's just kind of review this. Again, temperatures in the 70s as the game starts. Just a few clouds around, no real chance for rain over there in New Orleans. Then as we get towards the later evening, we see temperatures finally falling to the 60s, but still, it is going to be feeling very, very mild there in New Orleans for this game. Unseasonably warm temperatures out there. So just be ready for it. This whole weekend, record warmth is the story. So if you're heading over to New Orleans, please enjoy it. It's going to be a fun, fun game. And if you're watching from home, it looks like great weather to even watch outside for a little while. It'll be very mild, comfortable. Temperatures in the afternoons, though, near record highs around 80 degrees. Morning fog, both mornings locally for us. No chances really for rain, no significant rain chances, just maybe a couple rain showers are possible. That is the deal for our weekend outlook here on Next Weather. We are butting right up against the 3 o'clock show, so I am actually going to have to wrap this one up kind of soon here because we do have to get to the 3 o'clock show. But again, a very fun weekend planned across the entire Gulf Coast. If you're heading over to New Orleans, be sure to check out our sister station as well in New Orleans, Fox 8. They're doing a good job, of course, with their coverage as well for the Super Bowl. And of course, you can watch the Super Bowl right here at home on Fox 10. That will, of course, be on Sunday. Special programming. And then we have a couple premieres. I think one premiere after the Super Bowl. And then Fox 10 News, Sunday evening. Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith will be in for that one. So be sure to tune in there as well for Super Bowl Sunday. So thank you so much for joining us here on Next Weather again. And we will see you on the 3 o'clock show, 3 o'clock live. This one's going to be live from the King Cake-Off in downtown Mobile. Everybody have a great, great weekend. A happy Super Bowl Sunday. We will see you all next week.